How is that?
It's good.
Okay. So again, this is just reviewing the agenda for today. And now after all that, I would like to introduce you to our special guest presenter, Marisol Terrazas, who is joining us. She's a marketing expert from the Fullerton Lions Club, and she's going to give us some details about things that work for Facebook pages and groups. So I am going to, should I stop sharing? I'm going to stop sharing after all that. So then Marisol has the ability to, you can share if you need to. And I'm going to turn my time now over to Marisol from UpNet Marketing. Thank you, Marisol.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Lion Linda, and hello, everyone. I'm Lion Marisol from Fullerton Lions. My background, just to kind of give you guys a quick, just my background is pretty much marketing consulting, and I do business development. I work with now a little bit with startup groups and nonprofits. My favorite thing to do is basically explore new apps, especially right now that AI kicks in. So any new software program or anything kind of pops up, I'm like diving into it, trying to quickly decipher it and figure out how I could implement it to the things that I'm working on. In regards to Facebook groups and Facebook pages, I wanted to start off really from the very beginning because a lot of people have a misunderstanding of how these two work. Many people kind of create a Facebook page, but then kind of forget that there's the opportunity for Facebook groups. Do you guys have an understanding the difference between one versus the other? So just to kind of give you guys an idea of what a Facebook page is, and it's not only for nonprofits, but also anybody could create a page for themselves. It could be a store, it could be an organization, a nonprofit, a government entity. And so it's kind of like the virtual brick and mortar. So it's the area where you could make announcements, you could have a bigger, broader reach, and it's intended for a one-way communication. You have full control of the page, you have an announcement, you post it on your page versus a group. Now, Facebook groups, it's kind of like that little corner where you invite your audience or a specific, subject you're trying to cover or topic you want to kind of talk about. You start creating these groups. It's kind of like the Lions, they have the marketing. So that would be focused on that particular thing. But you could still have your page up here and then your group down here. And you could have multiple groups within your page. I usually recommend 2 to 3, but no more than that. Let me share real quickly and I do have, did somebody raise their hand? I think, no, I think that might have been my hand. Let me share my screen. Give me 1 second, folks. Okay, let me bring this over. I think I grabbed the wrong window. Here we go. So I did want to talk about, like I said, Facebook pages versus Facebook groups. Also, for nonprofits, it's the best way to communicate your mission, your vision, your events. Great way to also have an outreach for reviews. It gives you the opportunity to basically kind of reach out to even further outside of your local area. I don't know how many of our nonprofits actually do ads, but that's another way to grow your groups if you're trying to grow your groups. The other thing I kind of wanted to point out was what's the benefit of Facebook pages? Again, the whole premise is it's complete visibility. It attracts a wider audience. That's the big plus. And it's good for campaigns and fundraiser. And something about Facebook, they have a feature immediately off to the left for you to create a fundraiser. That's a nice thing that to be able to have if you're trying to, just promote awareness for whatever cause you have in the background. Community building, central hub for updates. And I'm going kind of quickly because I do want to start maybe just opening up a Facebook page. But let me go through this real quickly. Audience reach. So comparisons, audience reach again, pages versus the groups. Pages, broad audience, potential supporters. Basically, anybody that lands on your website and maybe has a Facebook page, they're going to see your content. Your groups can be private or public. I typically recommend for them to be public, but still have the ability to control who is joining your group. You have those settings in there. If you make them private, it's going to be much tougher to make them grow, if that makes sense. Now, if you're very in, have certain criteria of why you don't want to have it open public, that could be maybe only a certain group of people is allowed, and that's pretty much it. You don't care for growth. So I would definitely recommend public, but allowing those groups to be able to, you know, join, but you make the decision of who comes in and who doesn't get approved. There are settings also to kind of dictate who we like. If it's outside of, let's say, California or outside of the United States, you don't want certain people from different areas, like, you know, let's say the Philippines, because there wouldn't be a reason why to be in that group. So that could be a local, reason why you choose for that. Content and interaction, like I mentioned, one-way communication, mostly public updates, and groups is a two-way communication and discussion and engagement. So when you start up a group, what a lot of people do is just like they post stuff, but they don't want to engage with their audience. You have to nurture your group that you're creating. You have to, if that person that you started the group is typically the admin, new member joins, there is a little feature on there, and I'll show you guys when we delve into those sections, to welcome them. You could even do it where it's automated and it'll say welcome, and they'll mention the member's name. Again, it's that whole engagement experience of making people feel that they're part of something. Not only that, let's say 2-3 months go by, and if you're not active in that group, you completely forget about these groups. I'm part of like 550 groups. I stay pretty active on the ones when they say, hey, hi Marisol, or they highlight a certain thing, and it triggers me to come back into that group. But if they stay silent, I forget about them. Like, I have no reason to go back in there. Management, admin control, formal updates. Again, that's on pages and groups. You could invite multiple people to help you manage those pages. So again, like there's certain settings that you could really restrict people or give them the opportunity to, take full control of the groups. And be mindful, they can delete you from that account if you're not the owner. Best practices for nonprofits, utilizing Facebook pages. Again, with anything that you create, whether it's a website, a Facebook page, or a Facebook group, current updates and visual content is a big plus. In that in itself is what starts creating the algorithm for people to be viewing your pages. If there's something in particular in my area, and I see like Silverado Days and the Lions in Buena Park, they posted something just recently, and I'm not part of the Buena Park Lions group, but now because I saw them post on there, it triggered the algorithm, and I was able to see it on my feeds, and I was able, like, oh cool, like I'm going to join this group. So I clicked join, and now I could see their promotions and their flyers and all the information they're sharing back and forth. Leveraging Facebook groups, active moderation, fostering discussions, and member involvement. Again, it's big plus if you create that group, stay engaged, give them activities, or let them know, hey, we're going to be out here working through, we got an event, a golf tournament. You could pretty much post anything as long as it doesn't break any of Facebook guidelines. Cases, I'll skip on that, but I want to share the Facebook group.
Marisol, a question.
Sure.
If your group is public, but you make a post, you share a post that is not public, will the public able to see the post?
No. So let's say if you have a public page and you create that only for your specific group, you have to change it on the privacy settings on that particular post. And so you could just define, this is the only post I want this group or the people following this page to see it. And you could also disallow them to share it outside, if that makes sense. Because you have to remember, if I'm part of a private group and I can't share anything, I could still take a screenshot and share it.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
the kind of like the workaround, unfortunately you could do that. But within Facebook, yeah, you could assign it to not share. There are settings in there. And I'll show you when we go into the Facebook group.
Okay.
Let me minimize this and kind of go straight into our Facebook group and create one. How many have started a Facebook group? Okay. And everybody has a Facebook page? Okay. So let's see. I'll bring you guys on this side. So Facebook pages, just to kind of drill down a little bit more on the settings, when you have a Facebook page and your personal page, it's totally different as well. So you got your Facebook page as my persona, who I am, and then I might have like my business, here's my business page. Whenever I want to post under this brand or my company, I have to make sure that I've switched over. And how do you know? Because this right here switches to what account I'm under. If I go back to Marisol, and also I could tell, like, if you click on your profile, you could click it from here or up here or even up here. There's like 3 different ways of getting to your actual profile. You could drill down on who is on what part of what group. So if you go to groups, here's where your Facebook group is at. You're either part of it or you manage it, if that makes sense. So when I was looking at the groups in the Lions of which ones to join, again, it kind of goes, Lions, chances are it's going to find, because I've been typically drilling down on these. Here's what's the most important thing when it comes to of where I join. Obviously this is not Lions, but where's another Lions? Let's do international. Oh, here's one. It's not panning over. International. Okay, and then it's going to bring everything up. So you might want to click on this right here, groups. And it's going to tell me how active these groups are. So I could tell they're not as active because of the 8 posts a month, 6 posts. This group is very active. This group is not as active. And so I could drill down on the activity and decide to join on which ones I'm part of. Here, if you click here where it says my groups, these are the ones that I've already joined. And let me take this one off. So here's this one that I'm part of, and this one. And it tells me, again, like how many posts are active, how many people, my friends. And the reason you want to make sure you're active, again, is because the algorithm loves activity. That's one of the things that if you want to be visible, you have to be present in these platforms. If you're not present, they're not going to suggest your groups. So let me change this. So going back to Facebook pages, and I'm pretty sure you guys done it before, but profile, create new profile or page. We're going to start off with the page. I'm going to do a public page. Compare now. I'm going to do that one. Create page to engage new customers and fans. Get started. what is my Facebook page? I am starting actually a new chess group for students in Orange County. And I'm gonna probably do education because that's the audience I want. If you're a nonprofit, then you would select nonprofit. And then we'll skip that for now. Here we go.
Can you delete the groups too, or the pages?
Yes. If you're the owner who created the page, you could delete it.
Okay,
If you're just like an admin with restricted rights, you
Yeah.
cannot delete it.
got you.
Okay. So what I like about Facebook, it's pretty intuitive. They give you steps and challenges to kind of keep you engaged in, you know, creating those sections. For now, I'm going to skip this. I do have to go eventually back to it. Add action button, all that good stuff. I'm going to have to go back into it real quickly. Invite friends. This is another neat feature. I typically know who right away will help me. And you need about 100 to, what happened there? That was weird. Okay.
You need 100 what?
You need 100 to have your Facebook name exact, like be, instead of being a huge number, it's going to be your name. And then there's steps before they allow you to do certain other postings, if that kind of makes sense. And also it's also a requirement if you want to be a page that earns money. Have you ever seen those people that make kind of like they get money
Yeah.
from being an influencer?
Yeah,
They have a requirement of an audience. So that's kind of why you want to invite people over.
Excuse me, so are you saying that the URL that's showing on your screen would not be a number? It would just change to whatever the name of the group is?
Right.
Oh,
Right.
okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now that we created, and my apologies because I'm really going a little bit quicker than I should. I typically leave all the settings open, especially on a page. Then I go back and I clean it up. Take a tour. Okay. So now that I have the page, I could create my group. And this is where and my apologies, it's been a while since I've done one. Click on here. So let me go back. Where in my page, there's obviously nothing there, you know, it's a fresh new page. But now I want to create my Facebook group. We're going to go in the left-hand side, click on that Facebook icon and click on groups. You create your group. Now I'm going to do the same. I want enthusiast volunteers. Does that kind of make sense? Like why I'm choosing a volunteer group?
So within the page that you originally created, you are going to have a group now that will chat about the page.
Exactly. So you could do your page is like your main page.
Right.
That's all where all your posts, your events, it's your hub. It's your data, it's your page, your website. It's like an off website. Your group could be more specific. In this case, let's say I want to start off with volunteers first. Then I want to do maybe a chess enthusiast for a particular event that we might host in the future, or just chess enthusiast teachers, or now I need, so you could make multiple groups within that page. So the nice thing about that is it's manageable and it's specific driven. Instead of having just chess enthusiasts and then just a group, you just became like pretty much an open book again, or you're going to have a lot of people kind of showing up and really not having a direction. But if you focus it where it's now volunteers, people know that that's exactly what they're going to expect when, you know, they're in that group. So if at any point in time I have like, hey, I have an event, I need volunteers, I know I'm going to have that engagement, and the people that are in there are volunteers that, you know, are wanting to help, and I could count on them. So kind of like a back and forth discussion between them, because we know that's the topic. So if I click groups, gonna create the group.
And you always wanted public, you said, right?
Public, yes. If you create it private, it caps you also. And my apologies, I don't remember how many people you could be in a private group. A public allows you to have a lot more. I came across one group that they were in a private, and I believe it was up to 1,000 members, and past 1,000 they couldn't get any more because they were private. Not sure how that, I've never come across that, but that was their issue, unfortunately, and they couldn't switch it to a public group. So here we have our group. We're going to drill down on all those requirements. If you ever need to know who's moderating your group, you come to admins and moderators. This is one section I think a lot, many of us forget it exists. I'll try again. So we're in our group. Off to the left, you're going to see admins and moderators. Okay. Obviously, this is a new group. I don't have anybody that I've invited to help me out and grow the group, but this is where I typically would find people that I invite to manage my group.
Marisol,
Yes.
quick question. So when you post something to the group, it shows up in every single one of the group's Facebook group page. Like, how does it show up to them?
Okay, so here's the page.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back to the page. If I post something here,
Mm-hmm.
hello and welcome. This is your post right here.
Right.
My recommendation, don't do your work twice. Do your work from your page. Because what's going to happen is if you have, let's say, a post, you won't be able to track the insights, like not the algorithm, but the traffic. So if see where it says see insights
Yeah.
and ads, you want to keep it on the page itself. Then I'm going to share it within my own group.
Oh,
I'll repeat it
okay.
again. You share it. I just posted. I'll refresh again. I'm in my Facebook chess enthusiast group. Go to your post that you just created and you share it. You might want to say even that's another thing. I'll teach the groups later on what at highlight and followers and all that good stuff. There's little tricks that we could kind of highlight everybody, but let's say please read important group. Select your group. There was something in here that I want to show you guys. No, it's not there. Okay. And you could schedule your posts. That's another nice thing. So sometimes I work at 2 a.m. So I want to make sure I post it, the following day.
Right.
Post.
So the hello and welcome will only show in that specific group.
Exactly. So I'm not posting again on my page. I'm sharing the post. So now for me to see that post that I just shared, I'm going to go to, and there's several ways you could get to it, but you could go through more, groups, post, and there's my hello.
So like if you were gonna create a post that you wanted to go to the volunteer group, do you do it in the volunteer group or do you do it at this top page chess enthusiasts of OC and then share it to them?
Etiquette would dictate that I should take it from let's say I'm an outside visitor wanting to share a specific post on from somebody's page. that I take it from the page, not from the group, because they'll appreciate that I grab their post to share it. And they'll be able to tell how many times it's been shared, the insights of like how many people have visited or clicked it or visited the links, all that good stuff. So you want to do all your content on your page and then share on the Facebook group.
But that's only you can do that because you are the owner of the page. The other people will reply into your group.
No, you could actually, let's say, let me go to somebody share one of their groups. I'm gonna try to see if I could grab somebody's page group. Buena Park, I remember Buena Park. Buena Park, not New Lions. So let's see if they have something. So Buena Park, New Lions. Okay. Don't see nothing here. Oh. So if I want to ensure that I'm on the page, make sure you guys check off on pages. And you can see which ones are pages. Buena Park Lions. Thinking maybe. Let's see, Lions International maybe. Pages.
That would be a good one. You'll have a lot there.
So let's visit this one. Lions Club International has 864,000 followers. I would love to be in that one, and 10 plus posts in the last 2 weeks. So it's pretty active. I'll click follow. The other way you could tell the difference between a page and a group is they'll have a follow button or a like button. That's a page. The group basically just lets you join. And you could kind of follow, but it will typically say like for the pages. So here's one. Let's assume that we want to share this. I want to kind of get a post. Hold on. So let's say I want to share this in one of my platforms. And I actually do have, and you know what? Let me switch over to Marisol. I should have done that on the Marisol. Lions International, pages, follow. So let's say I like this one. See right here, 16 shares. I could actually click right here and I could tell who's sharing.
Yeah.
Did you guys know that?
Yeah.
Okay. So share, and I'm gonna go groups. And I'm gonna share it to the Fullerton Lions, because that makes sense, right? But if I'm also part of their Lions International group, I could share it in their group because I would be a member in their group, but I have to be inside the group. So I'm part of the Fullerton Lions. And let's say that's pretty much what I kind of want to. Yep. Okay. And then I would click post. I could click here, but let's say you missed out on this little section right here. I go back to the Facebook icon, and I'm gonna go to, and I shouldn't have clicked that, but I'm gonna click the Fullerton Lions. And for you to see your post, you could click on your own profile here, or you could click on your content and you'll see everything you posted. I like to click on my icon and it shows everything I've shared in this group.
Marisol,
Yes.
can you go back again to see, you said that you can see who had shared that. Can you show that again? You went kind of fast and I missed it.
Sure. No worries. And see, see how I shared it and you can't see the insights? That's why you want to grab it from where you physically got it from. So let me go back and revisit the club I was in. So this is the page, not the group. This is just the page. Did I pass it? I did. Okay, so here's one. I could see how many interactions, and sometimes you could, some groups or some pages keep it off or they keep it private. I like to see, I like others to see the activity, but here's where you could click right here.
Got it.
Now, not every single post can you see the insights. If you did not create it and post it in your own page, you won't see this because you shared it from another place. It's not your post. Only things you've created.
So I have a question.
Sure.
So like if Lydia had a diabetes group set up and she goes to the MD4, if you navigate to MD4 Lions clip, there it is, yeah.
Okay.
And well, there's the one that's the bad one. Look at that with a stop on it. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Liz, do you see that? Oh, I don't know if she's listening.
No,
What that
I'm here.
means?
It takes me a second to get unmuted. Okay, so what am I looking at? What's the bad one?
Look at Marisol's screen.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I
Well,
don't know who runs that, but we
that's the
gotta.
problem. Here's the problem. There's like tons of like California Lion pages, and some of them have been abandoned. Some of them were, it's like, for instance, the international director created, I'm pretty sure he created, don't let me get in trouble now, the California Lions and Beyond. And I'm sure that he's the one that manages that one. Because most of the posts I see are always from him. And when he keeps up with it. However, there's other pages out there, like we created the California Lions official, and I'm just getting ready to send you guys the link for that one. That one's like our official state page that the MD4, the COG, and the marketing committee, that's our official one that we manage. Some of these other ones, we have no idea what they are. So it could be Joe Schmo putting something on there, or somebody spamming it, or somebody
Or somebody created it and just left,
Yeah,
and we don't even know anymore.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Could you, okay, Liz, could you have Marisol navigate to California Lions, our site?
Well, I could tell you this. I am going to recommend to our committee that she be put on as an admin, because
Okay, but
she can
what's
really,
the name of the site again?
if she wants to be. Hold on, I'm getting there. Just a second.
It's California.
Just one
Lions.
second.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. California Lions and Leos Marketing Forum.
No,
Yes.
that's the one I just shared. That's like our marketing forum page. And then I also have a group that I haven't really promoted, because that's like the one where we can chit chat amongst each other and like have discussions. But the one that I really want everyone to get involved with is, just a second, it's the California Lions Club's official. And I'm going to share that link right now.
I don't see the group in the
California Lions Club's official, Marisol.
I'll send the group link, Lydia,
Okay.
in just a moment.
Yeah. So Marisol, type in California Lions official and you'll find it.
Everything is official. Everybody in marketing started to put official.
I just sent the link. I just sent the Facebook link for it. I put 2 of them on there.
Okay, perfect. And that kind of drives the point, as a new member, like I would probably have to wait for feedback from a group. But let's say I'm interested and I kind of want to do my research outside of, any, member letting me know, like, this is where you go. It is extremely important to name your club as close as what your company is or your organization is, because you are going to run into like all these variations of California Lions. I mean, I could end up in the zoo.
There it is. Yeah,
clicking on, so it's, again, and it just also, what triggers a lot of the algorithm is that activity. So keywords, the SEO, words that you're putting out there on content. And that's kind of where we want to make sure that we're active on those pages versus the groups.
So what I'm trying to figure out is on the second one down. Oh, you just missed it. Oh, California Lions Club's official. If you see it, right there.
Mhm.
It's 2 down on pages. Second one down after the word pages.
This one? Are you
No,
talking
the one
about?
above it, right above, no, above
No,
it.
no, that's
There-
my
No,
district.
no, the next one down. Yeah, that.
That
Okay,
one.
open that, right? So then the question is, okay, how do we drive traffic to this by using the technique you just mentioned? Like, there's no group. I don't think there's a group with this. And so there's
So,
no way to
yeah,
have communication between all the people that follow it, right?
exactly. So this is missing. I could tell by just clicking here by more that it's missing a group. So if you already you do have a group, you just need to allow it to manage. So whoever is managing this page needs to get an invite from that group and create them or set them as an admin. And then you're going to see it under groups. So if I click right now, yeah, I don't see any groups. So I don't see
I
anything
think
that's
that she
connected as a
just
group.
invited us.
Well, that's the marketing forum group. The California Lions official does not have a group.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that I did not create that one. I've just been an admin on there since last year. And
Okay.
we just have, there's only a couple of admins because it's like, but I have to say that I've had to like create albums on there too and tell these guys because, for instance, like Dr. Wink, when he was in Melbourne, he was putting on posts on that page, which was great. However, I wish he would have put them in the albums because what that does, it creates it creates like a space where, oh, okay, this was the international convention in 2024, where you can go on that album and view all those posts instead of thumbing through and looking for 30 posts.
Right.
The
Mm-hmm.
same thing with like student speakers, anything that has to do with student speakers, it goes into an album. So I'm trying to teach these guys, how to do that. And also for the likes, it's like, or for them to comment, I'm like, make sure that you are on your own page and you're using your own voice to comment because I had put down an invite for some workshop or something. I can't remember where it was. And somebody got on there and they were upset. They had like two things to voice out about it. And somebody got on there with our voice with California Lions official and said, "Are you going to come?" And I'm like, "Oh my God." So I had to delete that comment because all it did was just squirt more fuel in the fire. And then I just had to get with everybody. I'm like, you guys, you can't do that. And they're
Yeah.
like, well, it's somebody's, it's their, their freedom of speech. And I'm like, yeah, but if you're going to ask a question, you ask yourself. Don't represent the page and get people pissed off at us.
Okay, I have a question on this. So you have 1.5 thousand followers, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking Marisol. So if you created a group, can you invite all 1,500 followers to that group?
If I create a group, are you mentioning that
Yes.
I invite them?
No, I'm asking because right now we use WhatsApp a lot
Mm-hmm.
between different needs. But the
Sure.
thing is, like, this page gets some traction, but imagine like we're launching a new initiative, like a new MD4 Care initiative, and you want to launch it through marketing, but also through this page. And you have 1.5 thousand followers, and as well as I do, maybe 100 of them will actually see a post,
Yes.
right? So if you created a group, and that's an announcement group, like if you called it California Lions official announcements or something as a group, could you invite all 1,500 followers?
Absolutely. So unfortunately I can't show it here because I'm not
An
an
admin. Yeah.
admin, but let me
Here.
switch over to my humble home.
Excellent question, Dave.
Thanks.
Absolutely. So I have 40 followers here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And assuming that, I want them to all see this, but in a different group. So same process. I'll click group and I want to share it in my group or a different group. I could be in any different group. You have to be part of a group to be able to share in a group, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes
So,
sense.
but now I want them to definitely take a look at that. The minute I clicked at everyone in that group season. If
Oh.
I do followers, I can't do it on this platform. I could only do it on my page. If I
Oh,
go,
I didn't know that.
Say
yeah.
that again. I didn't get that.
So
App followers. Okay.
yeah, so if I go, let's say I go back to my page,
Mm-hmm.
but this time, what you're looking at, you're taking a look up here. You're keeping an eye out on this because you don't want it to switch over to your page. So I'm gonna go and find my group, which was the orange. So, and my apologies, I'm supposed to go to my UpNet marketing one. So I am myself visiting my page,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna grab that post, share it, and put it on my, or the preferred group. Now it gives me a list of everywhere I want to post it at. I'm going to be polite, post it on mine, and I'm going to click at followers.
So why
I'm
you
sorry.
putting add followers?
Because it goes to everybody.
It goes to
Aha.
everyone. Mm-hmm.
But you, on that one originally, it said that it wasn't, shareable or whatever the word is.
Correct. So you want to do at everyone versus at followers when you're on a page. When you're on your profile page, you have that opportunity. And let me share it. So if I'm on my page, on my platform, about to share my own post.
There it says only me.
Right. The difference between when you're in a page, you want to use at everyone.
Okay.
I know it's a little confusing. So you got your personal page and you got your business page. For some reason, they don't allow you to do it on the business page, just the at everyone. On the at with your personal profile, you could do followers, you could do highlight. It says some followers might receive notifications. So I have about 400,
Yeah.
400 followers on my actual, and this is on the
Uh-huh.
update, but on my actual profile page, and they will all see it. So you could do add followers.
Yeah. On your business page, you can't do it because they want you to pay them for advertising, right?
Exactly. So
Marcel,
yes.
I'm sorry to cut you off. We're gonna be wrapping up and moving on to the next topic. I know this has a lot of
Oh, no worries. We could drill down.
we could do a lot, maybe another longer session, part 2 next time or another time. But we're moving on
Yeah,
to
so just to wrap up, I mean, the biggest part is keep it consistent. When you create a page, invite multiple admins, because I've heard pains of other groups that, that particular person leaves and they kind of
Yes.
take the ownership with them, and nobody else had an opportunity to be, or have access to the website. And then that's when you start creating many different variations of, the same group. But other than that, yeah. And then within that page, because you're creating them under the same umbrella, you're able to manage the groups a lot easier. And again, it kind of goes back, but you could still fix where if there's a particular group that needs to manage a page needs to manage a certain group, they just need to get invited. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions aside from?
Boy, did I learn a ton. Like a ton.
We could
Thank-
go down the haystack. I mean, I could spend hours on this topic. Okay.
Great. Well, thank you so
Awesome.
much, Marisol. That and we will bring you back for drilling more into this in the future. So let me get over to my Zoom. Let me think. So let me get over to, to sharing my screen. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Share.
I
Great.
just added you.
Oh, thank you.
So I did the page down. Oh, so and in the presentation, I also included some links to some LCI things, system LCI resources that will guide you towards a little bit more background information on Facebook pages. So there's always a little bit of something extra for you in all of our presentations. But for now, I'm going to go rather quickly into QR codes, and I have, again, many more links to share with you in the presentation. But this one came to me, somebody really wanted us to talk about QR codes because they were being frustrated by the way that sometimes they're being presented or not presented properly. So first of all, QR codes are just a really quick and they're an easy way to access information, especially for tech savvy users that like to connect, and they eliminate the need to type out URLs. And they're an engagement driver because they encourage curiosity and they're a fun tech forward way to engage with people. The QR code best practices are to make sure your size and placement. You want to make sure that your QR code is large enough to scan easily. It's usually at least 1 by 1 inches, big. So it's not too small and positioned in an obvious spot. You want to have a clear call to action. You don't assume everyone knows what a QR code is in a flyer. So you use text like scan to RSVP for, your blank. You want to have enough white space around your code to prevent scanning issues. You want to provide alternatives because just like we did today with the Zoom, not everyone, you want to make sure everyone always has the information they have to access whatever you want them to do. So you'll want to use a QR code, but you'll also include in a flyer, but you'll also include traditional contact information like an email or phone number to give users options. And then you should always test your QR code before distributing. Just because you put it in there and it looks good, you have to remember to step back and make sure it works by testing it on various devices. Now, of the tools to create QR codes, I have 2 favorites. One of my all-time favorite is QR Code Monkey, and it's customizable. It allows you to change colors and add your logo and other images. It's free to use. I'll often use, if I want to know that something is for a sign up, instead of a logo, I might put, some kind of an image at the center of the QR code that will let me know it's like for phoning or it's for signing up something. So I can just look at that QR code and I can look at the squiggles and I'll know exactly what that code is going for. And what's nice about QR Code Monkey is that their codes don't expire. A lot of other companies that are trying to sell their services, they'll have it expire after 30 days. And you don't, I skip that. Just go right to a good QR Code Monkey generator. I really enjoy this. It will do besides URLs, you can do a card, a virtual card. It will do things for your email, phones, everything. I love QR Monkey. Of course, now that Canva has its own QR code generator, often when I'm inside Canva doing a flyer, it's just easier for me to use the QR code generator within Canva. And it doesn't quite have the little, you probably could, but it doesn't have the little capacity to have that image in the center of your QR code so that you know at a glance what it's for. But sometimes it's just the faster option. And I don't know about you, but I find that I like to really move things along because we're all busy people.
Linda,
Yes.
on the QR Monkey, okay, so if you want to do the QR with the information on a Word document or a PDF, you don't have a link to put in, can you do a QR code?
No, in that case, you do have to upload your document and put it somewhere on the internet. You have to find a place, which is there are just many different options, but you do have to, I have, like, if you have your say you save your document as a PDF, okay, and and you can do that very easily for free with word processing. And then what you do is you take your PDF and you have your free website through Lions International
Yeah.
through the eClubhouse. What you do is you upload that document as a flyer, and then you put the same information on the specific page that you want it to be about. And then then if you click on that PDF, you will have a URL, and then that's what you can do for.
Or,
And
or
some,
do an or do an image, or do an image that or convert it in an image, right? In a JPEG.
well, that's another story. That's but basically, for a URL, you do want to have an internet address for it to go to.
Okay. Gotcha.
And then I just know from personal experience, it's what that specifically when it comes to the free club management tool on Lions, it doesn't really let you put up images as much as PDFs for what you would want to do for a free purpose. But there are
Linda,
other yes.
I push everything up to Google Drive.
All right,
And then
you could do
you just right click on the file and it gives you a URL to it. You copy the URL into QR code monkey or to
Oh yeah,
Canva, and it'll generate a QR code.
that
You
is
can
true
also
also.
use your email address, a phone number. I mean, there are a lot of different ways to use a QR code.
That is true. So
Yeah, I had to put in the QR code some information about our vision screening, and they wanted this specific information about the screening for vision. So it wasn't on my flyer. My flyer had some information, but they have a recommended other other things that I need to put. Well, it didn't fit in my flyer, so I had to do a QR code for that, and it came in a Word document, and I was trying to find out how I'm going to put all the information and create a QR code.
You're not.
And
You're going to take your Word document, export it to a PDF,
uh-huh.
and push it up to Google Drive or Microsoft Drive or whatever, the iCloud. Then you're going to get the URL of the document because
Good.
it'll assign a URL to it. And then you put that into your
And into that.
QR
Okay.
code to
Okay.
generate it. When somebody uses the QR code, it takes you right to that file on Google Drive or Microsoft Drive
Yep,
or
yep.
iCloud.
That's a good idea. That's
Yeah.
a good idea. Thank you.
Sure.
and so the the example I used for this one would be I just so I already did the flyer for our next Zoom marketing cafe, and I basically just just kept the same information, and because I had created the on Google through Google Forms, I had created the registration form already. Then that has its own URL, which is what I use then for it through Canva. Down here, you'll see this is under that scan me. That was actually that was a QR code monkey, but I didn't have time to put a background in the back of it. So it's so you can sometimes you're combining everything sometimes at the same time, where you'll have all the information written out in text, and then you'll have your QR code ready to go, and you'll lock it in. So this one is good because it gives you the QR code down here. Let me see if I can move this over just a little bit. It has the QR code. And then it also has not just the QR code, but it also has, and this is a clickable link, so that if people received a PDF like through email, they could just click on the link if they didn't want to use the URL. Because again, some people like QR codes, other people despise them.
They're very suspicious.
Yes. So you can when in doubt, just give them everything. So you'll do like the QR code, and you'll do the hyperlink, and I spell it out so they can see what it's supposed to go to. And then give them contact information. On this one, because it's going to be a print flyer, I'll put my own personal telephone number. I won't put my personal telephone number on it. And even then I still have qualms because I don't want this going out to, being publicized. and I'll put my email address on it. And then I'll finish with a call to action. It's like limited spots available, reserve your seats. Why that, and so that one kind of is done. So that's what you would do for like a print flyer. That kind of has everything. But the reason why you may not want to do a QR code on, say, social media, you're going to have a slightly different, and maybe not even a flyer per se. It's just because social media, you want it to be a little bit more graphic friendly. And a lot of people, if they're on social media, it's because they're on their phone. And if they only have one phone, they can't take a photograph of it. So it's better to do your, for your social media, to have your message plan, and then to be using a hyperlink, which gets embedded in it. So again, different people prefer different methods of contact, and you provide a link, but you also provide an email address in the copy of your social media message, so that they know how to reach you as they want to. And so these are some of the link tips, is that you'll want to embed your links in the text. In social media, you'll use text-based URLs like, RSVP for the October Zoom Marketing Cafe here, and then you'll insert your shortened URL. To shorten your links, because sometimes, you'll see some of these links, they'll be long, and you'll kind of want them to be tidied up a little bit. So you can use a tool like Bitly or TinyURL to keep your URL short and tidy. It'll reframe it for you. Bitly is free for like 2 codes a month, or, and you get 10 links a month and 1 custom landing page. And I've usually used TinyURL. And you can customize it. So that's also nice. And again, you include all your contact options, include a public phone number, if you have one. But if you do not have a public phone number or a Google number that you use for your club, do not put your personal telephone number up on the internet. Okay, that's just basic safety. And you use an email for those that prefer more direct communication, and use engaging language. Make sure your call to action encourages people to take action, like join us for our Zoom cafe using the link below. And so this is where, so the pros of that, of hyperlinks in social media: quick and easy for most users to click and engage, and users are already on their devices, so links are a natural fit. But the cons are some platforms like Instagram, they don't support clickable links and captions, so you might have to rely on the link and bio approach, which is another topic for another day. With and URLs can clutter your design if it's not handled properly. I don't like seeing URLs normally in the image. So on this one, this is an example of an animated thing for an animated social media for the next Zoom things. You can see how it's different then from what the flyer would look like, which is like a lot more texty. But on this one, it says calling online clubs, marketing shares, improve your, and tell them the date and when. We'll share insights and digital marketing strategies tailored for you. RSVP now using the link below, or contact us for more info. And so then I've got that link. It'll be, copied and pasted and put into Facebook particularly, or other ones will be good. And prefer to RSVP by email. I've included the very special thing, and then, something, warm and fuzzy at the end.
Ryan, Linda,
Yes.
I have a question. This is really out of left field. Is a QR code accessibility compatible?
Is QR code what?
Is a QR code accessible for a person who's blind or has sight impairment to read it somehow?
That one would take someone with more knowledge than me. It's in the sense that my sense is if you spelled out, in that sense, you would want to make sure that you're spelling out. It's like the hyperlink underneath it before, like with that tiny URL. So then that way, if they had a screen reader, maybe the screen reader, I don't know if the screen reader will read the QR code squiggles and go directly, or if it's going to capture, focus on where you include the hyperlink, where you spell it out in your flyer.
Gotcha.
So that's another reason why we want to spell things out in our flyer.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm working with a blind group and trying to train them how to get into a portal, and they have that voice command and braille into the keyboard. But if they go to a QR code, they're lost right there. That you need to have that written and spell out because it's all audible. You know, you just listen what
Mhm.
is where your cursor is at.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's hard.
So I'm looking it up for you. There are also other tools you can use that are QR codes for people with blindness, other disabilities that aren't generated the way we're talking about now.
Okay,
There's
thank you.
different tools.
Like I said, I know it was out of left field, but just okay.
Oh, sure.
And then to truly maximize, just remember to truly maximize the reach of your campaigns, you're going to have to acknowledge that everyone interacts with information differently, especially older Lions and prospective Lions. So some people may prefer a QR code, while others will want to call a phone number, send an email, or even go to a URL manually. And the key is to provide all available options where you can, so the audience decides which method is most comfortable for them. So again, particularly for a flyer, I would put in a QR code, not necessarily for social media. But on a QR code, I definitely say a QR code to RSVP online, a phone number for those who prefer to call, an email address for users who want to send a quick message, a direct URL for people who'd rather type the link manually. Yes.
Can I
What did I
ask
write?
a question?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, go
Yes.
ahead.
No.
Somebody- Can you link a flyer to well, I know you can do Sign Up Genius, but can you do it to the Facebook stuff we're talking about, like a Facebook event?
Oh, yes, you can. You could just get people,
Oh.
you would take the URL of the event that you create, and that's where you would direct people to.
Oh, okay, thank you.
If there's a URL, you can send people there. So again, bottom line, give the people what they want. Print flyers are great for QR codes and traditional contact details, while social media posts should include direct links and multiple contact methods. Meeting people where they are will help you engage a wider audience and ultimately drive more RSVP for your events. So, and so I'm gonna, we're running out of time, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna go into as much detail on the next few slides, but I'll give you the overall things, and I'll show you the example at the end. But and if you have, especially like vision screenings, a lot of times you're reaching out to underserved communities. You can, through Canva, you can make your flyer bilingual, trilingual. So you design your flyers, and this is how you do it. You design your flyers as you normally would. You focus on clarity and simplicity in the original language to ensure the translation works effectively. And you avoid idioms or complex language that might not translate well. And then how you do in Canva, you use the auto translate feature. And honestly, you could do this actually. You don't have to be in Canva. It also works for things, but I love Canva because they just make it so easy. So you click on apps when you're in Canva, which is a left sidebar, and you search for translate in Canva. You select the target language from the drop-down menu. It even lets you pick out if you want to be friendly, formal, business-like. And Canva will automatically translate the text, not just your text onto your flyer into the selected language, but then it will also duplicate the graphics from your original thing. So it looks really good. And then you review the translation for accuracy, since machine translation may not capture context perfectly, but it's getting very close. And again, usually with flyers can be simple, and so they do kind of translate a little bit better. Whereas, a more complex document, you're definitely will probably want to send it out for professional.
Linda, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Where do
Yeah.
you click in Canvas? I am in Canvas right now. Where do
Okay.
you click that?
Let me come back to that in the
Okay.
in the forum, and I'll say after. So basically, and then step 3, you tweak the layout and formatting, and after translation, anyway, tweak the formatting and review the translations with a native speaker or trusted source if possible for accuracy. Keep it simple, and yeah, and that's how you do it. So in this one, my example for this is I made my Soul Alliance charity golf tournament flyer. I got it laid out, I got the information that I wanted on it. And then I did a simple translation, and I used to simplify Chinese because we have a very large constituency of Lions in our district who speak Chinese, and they are so supportive. I want to let them know I am speaking to them, and that we welcome and encourage their participation. So I have to, of course, run this by somebody who actually speaks Chinese before I spend money on printing this out. But it's better than I would do. So that's what I'm saying. It's a good start, is what I'm saying. And so I'm going to revisit. I'll show you. I'll demo it to you really quickly. I just want to run through why I love TikTok from Alliance Marketing. I don't know if TikTok. I don't know if you've been in it, ever gone to it, or more recently, but it isn't just about trending dances. It's a platform for all kinds of content. You can create lengthier videos up to 10 minutes to share detailed Lion stories, project updates, or event recaps. New features like templates, sound syncing, and trending effects help even beginners craft dynamic professional content. And that's really the reason I love it, is because I, like you, are a very, very busy person. And when you go to your Lions events and you want to share them on social media, you want them to be exciting. And I don't have videos are just are more eye-popping, and especially adding music. I don't have time to go home and edit everything down and then turn around and get it out in a timely fashion. And TikTok really helps you do that, and it makes you look like you're a pro, and then you can cross share. So it really adds a lot of fun to it. And again, you just go around and do it, and then people will think you're a genius, and make them think you spent hours on it. But it really turns things around very quickly. Another thing that I like about TikTok is that its algorithm rewards creativity and authentic content. So it gives clubs more of an organic reach compared to Facebook or Instagram. Because unless you're paying to advertise on Facebook pages specifically, your content isn't shown to everyone all the time on Facebook pages. It's shown to maybe 5 to 10% of your followers. And it's usually the same 5 to 10%, because Facebook wants you to pay for their services if you're a club or a business. And so currently I might have 300 followers on my Instagram page. And if I am really lucky, I'll create a post, I'll spend all that time on it, and it might show to maybe 18 to 36 people, and it's also usually people that already like me. And a lot of clubs, I don't have a lot of money to spend on promoting very many posts, if any. And so for the same amount of time, I might get a lot more engagement if I'm doing a video, which is shown to a wider audience beyond my followers, and it makes it a powerful tool for growing awareness. And short form videos have higher engagement, and it keeps your Lions content in front of more eyes. And so it's really easy cross-posting and integration. So you'll make your video in TikTok, and you can share it on Facebook and also Instagram. And on Threads, you have to actually save the video and upload it. But and then you can also upload that same video to a YouTube account if you choose to have one. But you create ones, you post it everywhere, and it's kind of like exciting, because part of it is just like we want people to know that Lions aren't just for elderly retired people, although you can be young and retired. It's for everybody, and we're exciting. So there have been concerns about TikTok's Chinese data practices, but current efforts towards stricter regulations and data transparency show promise. And now is the time to get on the platform, stay ahead of the curve, and build your presence while these issues are resolved. On this, I used a couple. I've used a couple of examples. Where did you go? Oh, I guess I've got an extra page in here. Sorry. So if you click on these will take you to some of the different pages where I used TikTok to post something. This is and the reason I started doing this for my own, on my own personal account, which when I started seeing the numbers compared to what I get on Facebook, I thought, oh, I really need to do something for our district. And So you can see, especially the one on the last one, that advanced invitation to a public, that's a post I created. It got over 2,000 views as opposed to 36. And that one, I didn't even put together anything. I just put together a bunch of photos, and I didn't do it correctly because I didn't make them into a video. They're more like a slide show. Did this follow me over to TikTok or not? I can't remember. Can you see? Wait, is it coming up yet?
It's coming up.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's still downloading or refreshing.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so so this is what it was. Oh, I guess it is. On this one, I think you have to manually engage it to put it forward. But this one actually got me 6 followers, which and it had, again, more than 2,000 views. It was actually one of my better engaging posts because it does give you analytics on that. So anyway, because in the interest of time, you can just go follow the other links if you want to see them. But they're well, I'm going to do one more so you can see how fun that they are. Oh, where did it go? Oh no,
You went to Zoom.
I'm sorry, I went on the wrong thing. Zoom. Okay, I'm going to do one more. This is one that it puts together with the
It's not
sound.
showing.
Let me. I guess we're going slow. So we'll come back to this in a minute. Oh, here we go. Okay, so this one, this was
This is showing, but
this one, I'll do this one. The event, the solo swimming, the morning of events. I'll do this. So this was something while I was going around as we were preparing for the swimming competition of Special Olympics that my Lions Club supports. I have a lot of other duties, but this one you can grab a few photos and then you just upload those photos to TikTok, and it will give you some templates, some suggested, because it does it all through AI. It will give you some songs, and you usually have like 5 or you have 7 or 8 that you could choose from that are, most of them are pretty exciting.
Yep. I said it before and I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
So that one is actually super, super simple, but I mean, that's kind of what it is. It would have taken me more time than I would want to go home to go home and do that. But that one, I get it up and out while the event is going on. And then later on, I could do a recap video.
But that's the same as a reel in Facebook, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, then what's nice about that is then I can just share it on Facebook, and I can share it on Instagram. There's a little easy tool. And the beauty of it, I haven't had to manipulate the images. It turns them around and makes them kind of exciting. And it does the exciting music for me, or the sound. And so you do it in just a matter of just a couple of minutes instead of spending a lot of time editing it. So that's why, between that and the algorithm pushing your content to more people out there, which is your real goal, that's why I really like TikTok these days. And that's my story. And I'm sticking to it. I think we're kind of almost out of time. We'll revisit who's doing what for the Lions Club marketing. I want to do a demonstration on the Canva, how that works, and then open it up to anyone who wants to ask questions or workshop anything. Does that sound good?
Yes, please do the canvas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and again, my apologies for not sending the code with the link and everything. And I'll go check my settings. I just thought I had it set so that people could join without any secret passwords.
And I thought, I was like, now what did I do?
No. Okay, so
I
now
was in the same way. Okay, it's coming up, something. It's kind of blurry.
So give it just one more minute. Let me close these down. Try this. Okay, here we go. Come on. Okay, finally. Okay, finally, here we are. Okay, so here I have my my Canva open, and if you see over here, can you see over here where my cursor is, where it's going over to the left side?
No, I don't see your cursor. Where is
Oh.
it?
Okay, let me think. Can you see over on the very far left side? You can see there's on the very top when there's something called design, and then
Yep.
elements, and then text. Underneath that is brand,
Yep.
uploads, draw, projects, apps. Oops, I said persons, and photos. Oops, I don't want photos. Background, and underneath background is translate. Oh boy, and it's a keeper. So let's say in this case, and it will translate the page for me, or you can also just do text if you want to. But normally, once I've set my flyer the way I want it to look, oh, I mean, because that's what's nice is that you don't have to like redo a whole flyer from scratch and insert text. It will take care of it all for you. So let's say I want to make sure that this year I'm being inclusive also of our Spanish population, and this especially for a vision screening. So you type in Spanish, and you'll have the tone of voice. You can have the original, you can have conversational, informative, professional, friendly, inspirational. I usually go with friendly.
Wow.
And it will tell you translate pages. So instead of so that's just the one I want is for it to translate. And oh, I've got to move this over here. And then you just hit translate.
But you want it on another page, not on the same page, right?
Yeah, it does that. It takes care of it. Unless you've selected that you want text only. So it's thinking and it's doing it. It's probably going slow. Wait, it's just, I think I've worn out my computer today. So, or I've worn out Canva. It's me. But down here, so it'll, it's still doing it. It's translating your page into Spanish using a friendly tone of voice.
That's cool.
Oh, there it is. And so you can see where, like in this case, like it's a little bit, like on this one, I would probably change it back to Solo Lions, just for the sake of branding. On this one, because it's, as you know, Spanish often uses bigger words or more words than you might want to change the letter spacing from 88 to and I might change the size of and the same with this one. I might change this one a little bit more.
That is cool.
And the rest of it is pretty much spot on, other than Solo Lions, because that's it might be taking it a little bit too literally, or maybe, but anyway, you want to keep your name the same for like Coca-Cola does or something. So Sola. And ta-da, you are now a multilingual representative for your club. And then you would just save that one. You could just download either the whole thing as a PDF, you'd share it, or you could just take down that. You could either do it as a if you're going to be doing it as a on your social media, then you could do as a JPEG and just take the one page. So, and then because this is a save the date, I don't have a URL up yet. So on this one, I'm not going to put a URL. I'm just really letting people know to save the date. And so that's the story of the Canva
How do you
translation.
do the code, the QR code?
Oh, so like say, let me go to here. Let me open that back up. Where am I? Okay, here we go. Zoom Marketing Cafe. Oh, here we go. Save the date. I'm just bringing it back up.
Mm.
Great. So the original one, if I wanted to do, I think that's under, sometimes I'll forget because they've added so many apps to Canva. So if you forget, you can either put it under like kind of a search.
Which one are you trying to do, Linda?
The QR code
QRs.
generator.
Okay, so go under, scroll to, go to apps. Click on apps.
So you can go to apps and then you just type in what, QR or whatever the app thing that you want. My machine's just going really slow.
Okay. But I got it. Yeah.
Did you
And
find it?
It creates it by itself, huh?
Yes, because what you would do, apps. Come on. Anyway, you go to when you get the QR code app generator, then it will just tell you what the URL is, and you just type in what you want for the URL. It will generate the QR code, and then you can just drop it into your flyer.
Perfect. Thank you.
It's just so that's my story, and I think before my computer catches on fire, I think that's the end of it. So there we go. It's going so slow, but QR. Oh, there it goes. Finally, QR code. And that is okay. So now comes the open forum discussion. Again, it's 3:43. I want to be we're already a little bit over time. Is there anything specific that anyone wants a question? Oh, see, there's the QR code. See where that is?
Yes.
And you would just click on that. They have these other ones too. You can do AI music. You can do music that you add to videos onto the app. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff.
You can do image generators and AI images. So this is a lot of fun now in Canva. So does anyone have any questions or a project that they want to talk about really quickly before we let everyone go?
And this is the free canvas, right?
Let me see. I think is the QR code generator free? I would imagine. Do you know, Marisol?
I think that first one for sure is.
Yeah.
I think most of the apps are, but then they might have like a limited,
Yeah. Okay.
uses or something, and then they tell you got to purchase the.
Okay.
And when in doubt, you can always do your app in QR code monkey, and then you can download it as an image, and then you can upload it to Canva, and then that way for sure it won't have a thing. But
Okay.
I've always been happy so far with QR code, but you're always happy until you're surprised, I think. So
okay, thank you.
Good. Any projects or anything that anyone else has to ask about or that they want to talk about in the next next edition of Zoom Marketing?
This was really good. Thank you.
Okay, I'm trying to pace it out so it's not too much, but it's informative. But yeah, and I'll work and then I'll work more on my invitation abilities then, and we'll improve it. And I want to thank Natalie Rivera for being, keeping us going on time and for checking the comments. And I will be sending everyone a summary of today's discussion and a link to look at the presentations where all of the links of things that I discussed today, there you can click on it and you can go to the reference source. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Maybe
Linda.
one suggestion, I have a little bit of hard time with like the Google sharing the files. I think, I don't remember if you did talk about share files in Google, and I did myself one, and then somebody told me, oh, the files are not very legible. I cannot download it. And I'm like, I am looking at the files and are okay for me. So I do not know if I didn't or if they didn't open it correctly in Google.
That's
So, yeah, but that's something to think about,
okay. Great. All right. Well then, lovely. Oh, and okay. Well, thank you. And I'm sorry we didn't get to even our introductions or extroductions, but next time then, okay?
Thank you very much. And Linda, I am from the district where Alan Winkestein is. So we are District 4L5.
For L.
So
Okay. And Mary, so
L5.
thank you again for your excellent presentation
Yeah,
on
thank
Facebook and
you.
groups. And we'll have to come back because actually that is a good way to kind of get around Facebook algorithms, I think, with groups in a way that could be very beneficial to Lions clubs. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else?
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
Natalie. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.